sexual and reproductive health, it is essential to work in partnership with as many groups as possible. So we reach out to different groups. And that's obviously the key in the area of ending violence against women. And again, here, maybe the good news is that today there is a rising tide of public opinion against violence which is directed to women in all countries. So there is really a mobilization. It's a more visible issue. And many countries also have adopted laws, and they now what they need to do is they need to be supported in enforcing the laws and in ending impunity, in ending the fact that violators go free and there is never a consequence to the violence. Also, there is some progress in abandoning the practice of female genital mutilation, sometimes called also female genital cutting. And today, thanks to social mobilization, more and more communities are taking actually a stand against this harmful practice. And we also are starting to see some declines in the prevalence, in the occurrence of this practice. And the countries here are Egypt, Ethiopia, Cote d'Ivoire, Mali, and Nigeria, where efforts are underway to change that. And maybe just here is an illustration of partnership, of reaching out to different kinds of people in the community, of working with men, with male leaders. This is actually a traditional leader in Nigeria, and he has been active in working with traditional birth attendants, in mobilizing in support of changing attitudes and providing support that it's okay to change, it's okay to do things differently. And just a quote from him in his actual work. So in working on these, obviously quite sensitive issues and difficult issues, we have found at UNFPA that understanding the cultural realities, the culture, the beliefs, often actually reveals a very good way to change harmful practices and to advance human rights. So it is not to take culture as an excuse to do nothing, but it is to respect and understand that there are good things in every culture. There are also bad things in every culture often, but find the good things and find a way to start a dialogue for change. And obviously, as I start to conclude, I just want to say the obvious, that we cannot do as women. Many of us here are women activists and very convinced and very strong women, but we cannot do it alone. So we need to reach out. This is not a matter of women. This is a matter of societies and everybody in the society. So men and women need to do these changes together. And together we are stronger, we can actually do. So in concluding, let me just show a few of the issues that we really need to accelerate, because we've made a difference. There is good things happening, but clearly this is an unfinished agenda, and we don't have the time. Time is not on our side, never when people die and when they're discriminated against. So we have to do things faster and we have to do them better. And here are just some of the things. We need to implement. We need to, make sure that the relatively good legal and policy things that have taken place, laws and policies have been put in place, they now really need to be implemented. So it's about action, action, action. There is no excuse to yet formulate another policy or yet another law. Now we need to really focus on concrete action and enforce it. Second one is that we need to sort of look at the many innovative things that are being done here and there and everywhere and bring them together and to a bigger scale. They need to reach to more people. It's not good to do a very solid innovation in one corner Now we don't have time. We need to try to understand what makes it good and how we can expand it so that it reaches a larger number of people. We very importantly, and I will just do this quickly, we need to reach out to civil society, to NGOs, to civil society groups, and work always, always with them, and in particular with young people. Young people have a lot of good ideas. They need to be listened to, and they need to tell how they would want things to be done in these matters. Then we can also provide our expertise, but we cannot tell young people what to do. It has to come from within, basically. And of course, we need to make sure that there are budget lines, not only speeches, although speeches are important to mobilize support, but at the end of the day, we need the money to go. First of all, the national money from the countries themselves, from their national budgets, from their community budgets, from the people themselves, because most of this actually is paid by out of pocket. Users and people, individuals pay most of the money. But also, importantly, by sustained international development assistance. So I would like to end by stressing that each one of you and all of us here, we can do something to bring our world into a greater balance in line with the vision that the leaders agreed 15 years ago. You can really do a lot. For starters, we can do what we're doing today. You can share correct information about the connections between population and gender and how improving women's health and rights can create a more just, more secure, and more sustainable world everywhere. Here, in my country, in your country, everywhere. And you can also be partners in that way, actually, in mobilizing support for this in terms of whether it's in funding, in technical terms, whatever it is. And make sure that we get more and more people mobilized for these causes. And essentially, what we need to do, and you can do, is to challenge the pessimists. Pessimism is a very easy way of getting out of doing anything. So I would urge all of us to challenge the pessimists who say nothing can be done, and stand rather on the side of those who are already doing a lot, whether it is to improve their own lives, but also very often to reach out and improve the lives of others. So we can and you can be part of a generation and a movement that help to finally put an end to violence and discrimination against girls and women. We have the opportunity. We know what needs to be done. It's in our hands. So by standing up against this injustice, you will create a better world for everybody. So I end here. I thank you very much for your attention. I'm sorry if I was a little long. It's always a challenge, not knowing how much you can say and how much we keep for later. But as you can see, these are extremely important issues, and I really thank you for your attention, and I look forward to win this presentation and challenge, and then to the discussion that will follow. Thank you again.